obviously. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was exhausted yesterday after the whole session 1.
Was a
Not the
long-
session 1, the session 1 of the
element,
campaign. It was amazing. Honestly,
spent-
like, it really put me back into it. I know that you've been playing Dungeons and Dragons like forever now, because I don't think you've ever properly stopped, right?
I never really stopped. I stopped, I think, the first year that I was here in Malta. Because I was not playing, I'm talking like 14 years ago.
Yeah.
So there was no such thing as playing online.
Yeah.
I had left my group in Napoli.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came here and I didn't know anyone who played D&D. And then I met a guy online, which is my friend Stefano. He's a book author, and he's the guy with which I played
Okay.
Rexir, my necromancer character, which we actually met on a forum, and we started messaging, talking about D&D, and he told me, I'm going to do a campaign. Do you want to join? I'm like, I live abroad. And he's like, yeah, I also live in Bologna, and another guy lives in Milan, and another guy lives, not in Milan, in Torino, and another guy lives, I don't remember where. I think in London or something. And so we started playing online.
Okay.
13 years ago.
On Roll20.
On Roll20.
Okay.
On Roll20.
I never quite liked Roll20. I don't know why. I mean, it's a good tool. It's a great tool, and this honestly did what D&D Beyond did afterwards. In terms of like the collection of the information there, but it also had the virtual tabletop kind of element to it, the map. That was I think the best part.
The difference with D&D Beyond is that D&D Beyond was born as a character maker and like a tool set for D&D, and the other one was a tabletop simulator for different role-playing games, because you don't do only D&D. You can do you can do Pathfinder, you can do Vampire, you can do a lot of different things. But Roll20 is mostly the map making tool, and D&D Beyond is like the character sheet and the books.
I remember, and the books. That's the thing that I remember most from Roll20, because like when we started back then, like 12 years ago, playing Dungeons and Dragons with my friends, it was always like trying. At first, there was like the whole, as you say, like the furia of like people meeting in person and playing and rolling dice and whatever. But then you start having 6 people around the table at the time. That's how we started. 6 players and myself. So trying to schedule everyone, it was insane.
Yes. Very
we
tough.
tried Roll20. It didn't really work for us because kind of I was really leaning heavy on the role play aspect, and at the time we had obviously video calling and that sort of thing, but it was
not great.
It was not great. It wasn't COVID yet, so there wasn't like the whole Zoom thing,
Of course.
So we did everything on Skype, I think, at the time, and it was really iffy. And you can't have I think I only had one screen at the time, so like you either have your players in front of you for roleplay, or you have the map and you have to switch.
It's not ideal.
It was not ideal.
Yes.
But then after we finished the Lost Mines of Phandelver, then I split the group in 2, like 3 players and 3 players. 3 players continued and eventually became 4, and they continued for a good number of years.
A couple of years.
I think we from 2015 till a couple of years ago, till like 2021, I think.
For a while.
6-7 years, I think it was, because even throughout COVID, we used to. Before there was the whole lockdown and everything, we could meet up with family members, like with Mas and everything. I remember playing. Actually, I think up until 2020, I think we played. So like 5 years, 6 years, something like that. And then the other group just fizzled after one session. That was my brother, his now wife, and Paul from the OGs.
So Paul was still in Malta.
He was still in Malta at the time. Yes, it just didn't work because kind of, I mean, I know my brother, he wanted to try it out, and he played a barbarian, like Goliath barbarian kind of thing. My brother always likes to play these brutish characters and sort of thing. I remember.
Understandably so. They're fun.
They're fair enough. Yeah, they're fun. But I know with my brother, he has an interest in the gaming and the stuff. Like he's a geek by all, measures
just
of the word.
Not a D&D.
Just not a D&D geek, but he obviously plays video games and that sort of thing. So yeah.
We jumped from one thing to another because you were asking me something about you never really stopped playing.
Yeah, you never. I was about to say
1 year or something.
Yeah, you're right.
I played like 1 year and a half.
Here we go. Yeah, because this is the thing. Before yesterday, I hadn't played D&D
for a while
since we did it with the OGs.
Which was only like 2 sessions. I think we had 2 sessions with the OGs.
What do you mean 2 sessions with the OGs?
The private one that we had.
Oh, yeah. But no, I mean as a DM. As a DM, I haven't DM'd since the end of the previous campaign that we had with.
So 3 years, 3.5 years.
Yeah. So I was really
jumping into it again.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty good.
Loved it though.
I think we all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And talking about things that we enjoy to do, let's say hi to our audience, our friends that are here.
As usual, the cold open,
yes.
us rambling.
Welcome to session 1. This is Pepe, and this is Kurt, which keeps breaking me to this day. And today, well, for us, we're a little bit tired. We can say that
you can see we're tired. Like I got like bloodshot eyes. I'm low energy. I'm exhausted.
It's because yesterday we had so much fun.
Yesterday
we had, as we were discussing, we had our first recording of the first session of our soon to be launched campaign, the Ringland Chronicles.
Yeah, and it was the first time we played with this new group with 4 players around the table. I've explained, I think, in the past, or maybe last episode, I can't remember now, like my brain is not functioning, but the way we worked towards starting this campaign, we started with the 0.1s, which was 1 player and 1 DM. Sorry, 1 player with the DM.
1 player and 1 DM, because the session after was 1 player with 2 DMs.
So 1 player and DM. So that happened 4 times, which by the way happened in the span of 4 days.
That
in 1 week, by the way.
Insane.
It was insane. And then the week after we had the 0.2s, which was 2 players pairing them up. It was Pepe and Bernard and Michelle and Tanya separately, and they role-played different storylines. Like they didn't play the same narrative.
Yes.
They had their own,
and also in different timelines, because we were
slightly different, like a couple of weeks, a couple of days
of difference.
Yeah, because obviously then you had to travel to get to where they were.
Exactly.
But so there was that, and then we started the actual session 1, the first actual recorded session with all 4 of the players.
All 4 players that we had announced in the previous episode. So I'm gonna be one of the 4 players, as we said, and the other one of the 4 players is gonna be our guest today.
Yes, he's currently under the invisibility spell.
Yes, we cast the invisibility spell on him.
Be careful where you're touching the seat, because we don't have HR yet in
yes.
Epigeeks, so we don't want any claims.
No touchy, Bernard. But yes, so Bernard
is so bad.
He's going to be our guest today. We're gonna talk about him. We're gonna talk about his character.
Yeah,
and also we're gonna have a super fresh impression on a kinda new D&D player, because he did play D&D a little bit, but he only had like I think a few one-shots and this kind of things. So we're gonna have a fresh couple of eyes on the experience of playing D&D, which for us is something that we might have forgotten, because we've been playing for many years.
We've forgotten about it a little bit, to be honest. But like half the players are relatively new and half the players are not relatively like well-experienced Dungeons and Dragoners. So yeah, Pepe is not one of the newer ones, as you might obviously assume. He's one of the expert ones. But yes, so yeah, I wanted to point out one thing. You will notice that there is
something missing on the set. We have just given away our beautiful primeval owlbear mini to the winners. To the winner, Anton Mercia. Anton Mercia at Bars and Bows. So thank you, Anton. Was lovely to see you. We had also a little chat about D&D and the adventure that he's going to start with his friends soon. So yeah, we are super happy and super stoked.
Yes.
Continuing spreading the gospel of Dungeons and Dragons.
The gospel of Dungeons and Dragons. Like by the end of the year, it's going to be a cut, like full on robes and everything.
Yes.
We're in it. We can make the robes for you guys. Jade does it. Hello, Jade, by the way.
Hello.
Jade.
Jade's behind the laptop as usual. I also wanted to say, like, we were talking to Anton, kind of like, we told him, like, listen, tell us how if you ever use the primeval owlbearing, like, I mean, tell us how you did it, like what you did and stuff like that. And he's actually going to tell us if he ever uses it on Discord. We do have a revamped Discord community. So it's honestly like just shot up from like 3 members to 46 overnight.
Yeah, because first of all, we want to introduce again Manuel that just joined. The team of the Epigeeks.
Our tavern keeper.
So he's the one that has been hard at work to revamp our Discord.
Yeah.
We have been saying, I think since last year when we were at PlayCon, that we wanted to revamp our Discord.
Yes.
We wanted to create, a space for not only D&D players, but for any sort of geek or nerd that would like to join the community. And obviously we're gonna try and do our best to make sure that everyone, first of all, has a safe space to explore their interests, and second, if there are groups that might create, maybe meeting DMs and players in the same space, it's a good way to create more people playing D&D. Because what we realized, being at now more than one con.
Luckily enough.
Last year we went at PlayCon. This year we were at ToyCon. Officially invited by ToyCon. Thank you again for having us. It was a blast. And we realized that there is a lot of people in Malta that wants to play D&D, a lot of people that wants to try D&D, but they don't know anyone else who plays D&D. So we want to create, a hub for all these people to join and to be able to find their group.
Yeah, I mean that has been the general sentiment, and in fact, like in future cons, we are already planning planning the schedule and the activities for PlayCon if we are accepted to go there, of course. But we're in the talks there. One of the things that we wanted to do is some sort of playthrough or one shot with players like that sign up and join us there on the day. So nothing is concrete yet and nothing is confirmed. These are the things that we would like to do.
Yes.
Yeah, but these are the things that we would like to do because there's such an interest from various people who came to speak to us. People who haven't played D&D in a while, they want to get back into it. People who have never played D&D and want to try it out. People who play D&D every week and they still want more of it because admit it, it's just a fucking awesome game.
Yes, when you're a player, you always want to play.
Yeah,
every opportunity you get, you want to jump on it.
Absolutely. And one of the things also I wanted to point out on Discord is that there is the general area, the general chat, what we're calling the tavern for everyone to join. And there's the general chat, which we talk there about our interests, that sort of thing. There's the TTRPG chat, which is what you just mentioned. There is a chat about the setting lore of the campaign, which in the coming weeks and in the coming months will get a little bit more popular, especially once the campaign starts in June.
Exactly. We will be able to add more information. There we don't want to give,
obviously,
too much of a spoiler.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kurt is gonna add some information for everyone to understand his world and his universe, because before it started just as a word, but now it's a universe.
Started as a town, actually.
Started
just as a town, right and stuff. But
started as a town. Now we're here.
So
so he's gonna give us a little bit more insight. About the universe that he has created.
Yeah, but then on Discord, on the other side of Discord, there's also the Patreon only area, because part of the Patreon, we did a Patreon revamp project over the past week or two, where Rachel, our social media manager, and myself have worked a little bit on it, and also thanks to Manuel for the Discord integration and all of that. We kind of wanted to launch everything at once, like the Discord revamp and the Patreon, because they link together. We have new tiers on Patreon. We'll have social media reels to promote that.
And also we need to thank our first
Mega Geek. Yes, of course. So let me just explain very briefly. So there's the new Geek and the Super Geek, just like we were before. There are slightly adjusted prices, obviously, to reflect the amount of benefits now that we're increasing to add.
Because we are increasing benefits on all the tiers.
Exactly. Actually. But if you are one of the previous new or Super Geek, you keep obviously paying the same rate, because that's only fair. And thank you so much for your support. It's a bit of a reward in and of itself. Then we have the Mega Geek, which is at, I believe, at €10 per month on Patreon, which gives you access to, apart from the Patreon part, there's also access to behind the scenes. There's early access and
to episodes
behind the
of the
campaign. So there's going to be also a monthly call with the DM in one of the private channels on Discord as well. So like if you have questions about the setting, or maybe you'd like to discuss something DM to DM kind of thing, we can do that as well.
And there is also included in the extra content, what we have named yesterday as short rest.
The short rest, yeah.
So at the end of every episode, we'll be shooting our first impression of what the session was. Like a
winding down
a little bit of like decompression session after the D&D session that we're gonna have here at the table all together, including Jade and the rest of the cast and the DM.
Oh, by the way, almost died yesterday. to preserve the integrity of the recording.
So
by the way,
can you guys
we have it on
please
camera.
put it in the comment to Jade that she's allowed to sneeze in case she has to, or to cough in case
she's allowed to
yesterday she was going to die in order not to sneeze or not to cough for 4 hours.
Yeah, she's allowed to take like antihistamines when an allergy attack comes.
So please voice it in the comments. Say, Jade, please don't die.
Please don't die. Then there is the topmost tier, which is 15 euros a month. Is the Epic Geek tier,
Yes.
and basically it's the same as the Mega Geek, except there's only 5 spots for this. And as a one-time sign-up reward, you get a whole set of miniature 3D printed and resin 3D printed miniatures, made by me.
Of all the members of the cast, all the players.
We didn't say it yet on the Patreon, but that's what it's going to be essentially. It's got all the players of the campaign.
All the players minis of the campaign.
Yes, they'll be unpainted, so you can paint them all in whatever style you like.
They look so beautiful.
But
by the way, yesterday we saw for the first time the minis, because obviously we also had our first fight.
We had a lot of first everything.
Official fight of the campaign. With terrain that was painted by Kurt and by Jade, and looked beautiful.
And miniatures by Ryan.
And Ryan
Rundo
Miniatures, which is still one of our Patreon supporter and is helping us so much. By the way, thank you so much, Ryan, if you are watching, for the beautiful dice tray that you made for me as well. I think it's somewhere over there.
Yeah, we'll get it after the break.
Yes. We'll put it here in this corner,
the fourth guest, the fourth person.
Exactly, the fourth guest.
We should have like a microphone for it as well.
But I think this is a long introduction for this podcast.
And thank you to the first Mega Geek who actually joined us.
Thank you for the first Mega Geek, Luigi.
Fireblade.
Thank you so much, Fireblade.
Who joined like 2 hours or 3 hours after the revamp.
Yeah, like
immediately.
We literally had I think it was last Thursday.
Last Thursday we were during our guild call.
Exactly. So after the episode of the podcast, usually we have a call to discuss how the episode was, if we liked it, if the sound was good, and we start planning for future stuff and blah blah. And literally while we were having that call,
what's this?
We have our first Patreon supporter, and it was Luigi, which is a friend of ours. We have also shared the LARP together.
Yes, as well.
I've actually seen him, I think, a week ago. We've seen each other at Toygon, and I've seen him a week ago because I went to buy some Legos.
Oh yeah,
and I saw him at the shop. So thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you so much for believing in our project as much as we do. And I think it's time.
To start.
It's time to remove the invisibility spell.
Yes,
on Bernard.
So do you want? Obviously now we know it's Bernard. Pepper, who's the guest going to be with?
So the guest is going to be a secret one.
Well. So
let me get appear.
Yeah, I just noticed there's a loose bolt under my chair. I have to fix it soon. I just
the ADHD brain. So welcome to session 1. Welcome to episode 16 of session 16, man, 16. Welcome to episode 16 of session 1. Roll the clip.
Hello everyone and welcome back, and we are here in the studio with our marvelous guest
Bernard Gellel, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys.
So yeah, Bernard is with us because you are one of our players in the Ringland Chronicles campaign, is that correct?
He's a very special guest for us. He's a very special boy also.
Yeah, he's a very sparkly boy as well.
Very sparkly boy. Stars.
We'll explain the context behind that because it's gonna come up forever.
Oh yeah,
that is we're gonna talk about that.
A minimum of 17 times per episode.
At least. I think every sentence that he says, either himself or someone else
has to incorporate stars.
Yes.
I agree.
So stars. So first and foremost, welcome to the podcast.
Oh,
How are you? How are you, Bernie?
I'm very excited.
You're very excited.
Very, very excited. Yes. It's my first time being on a podcast,
Wow.
and being on a podcast related to the campaign. So it's like mega wow.
Yes. Actually, is this the first podcast related to the campaign? Second, technically.
Apart from the announcement one.
Yeah, apart from the announcement one, which
definitely,
was
this is the first one where we have a whole episode dedicated to the one of the players.
Yes.
Don't I feel special?
So, very special. You are a very special person for us. Actually, you were the first person that we had in mind when we decided to.
Yes, that is true. That is true. I almost forgot about that. So yeah, when okay, so bit of history, Epigeeks history now. Listen up, kids. It's gonna be on the test.
That's the lore.
Epigeeks lore. Yeah. So basically, when Pepe and I started working on the Epigeeks again, about March 2025. The main idea
1 year ago,
more than 1 year ago now, and the idea was to start with the campaign. Like the podcast came after.
Yes.
We started the podcast as a way to build up an audience in anticipation of the campaign.
Okay.
But when we started, we said, okay, so let's have a look, because we did the campaign online before with the OGs, as we did.
Yes.
The show, in the previous episode. We said, listen, we want it to be in person. Who are we gonna get? Who are the people around table?
because obviously it had to be people that lives in Malta, like us,
in Malta.
and people that has a background in either performing or role playing or so some sort of performative art, let's say. Obviously we know that you are a part of a million different communities and fandoms.
But to tie off the initial point, as we always do, like obviously ADHD stuff.
I just jumped on it.
I love that.
Yes, you were the first person that we chose. We were the first person who came to mind.
Flattering.
When we said, obviously apart
That's
from
nice.
Pepe, because Pepe was obviously part of the project.
I mean,
and
inclined.
I was tempted to tell him, like, listen, now I'll have you on as a guest. I would have killed me.
I would have sliced him.
Wanted that recording. Would you pay for it?
But yeah, you were one of the first people to be selected. Because obviously, I mean, as Pepe was saying, you are a part of a lot of different circles of like geekdom, as I like to call it. Like, you're a cosplayer, you're very, very talented and very good and skilled makeup artist. You are an NPC in LARPs,
an NPC in real life.
An NPC.
Keep on going, guys. I'm loving this. I needed this.
No, but so we obviously I knew you only through the LARPing. But as Kurt said, you are also a cosplayer.
Yes.
You're also a makeup artist. You do a lot of stuff. So
Don't I look tired?
Love the reactions. By the way, we are a bit tired, all of us, but you are particularly tired today, and I already jumped on a different thing from what I was saying. Okay, but I'm gonna continue.
It's fine. It's follow the thread.
I love bouncing on things.
Yeah, exactly. So you are particularly tired today because you just came back to Malta. You were traveling over the last couple of days.
Yes. So we got to Malta. We were supposed to get here at 1 a.m. but due to delays we got here at 2:30 in the morning this morning.
Damn.
So yes, then I forgot I had an alarm on, because an alarm on a Sunday, love those. At 7 a.m.
Nice.
At 7 a.m.
Lovely.
And I have a very particular ringtone which makes you want to smell flowers in the morning. So yes, I got up at 7 in the morning and then I couldn't sleep. So yeah, it's very tired. But
where were you coming back from?
I was like, can I tell the people?
Of course. I mean, you are here because we want people to know you. So
hi.
tell them about your interests.
So let me tell them, yes, about where I've just been on holiday. Over the weekend, my partner got me tickets to go and watch the Claire Obscure Expedition 33 Orchestra. It was insane. I hadn't cried in like a month, and I cried like
nice
a lot.
I mean, not to the crying, to the
orchestra. Yes, crying. Yes,
crying is.
We love crying.
Yes,
we love crying. It's important.
It's important.
So yes, thank you, Kurt.
Hi, Jade gave us stage direction, I suppose.
I'm so good at this, guys. But yes.
By the way, sorry. Hi, Jade.
Hello.
Let's say hi to Jade. as always. Continue.
Love the view. But the concert was insane. I mean, to top it all off, when we booked the whole thing, we had no idea that when we were going to view on the Saturday, Claire Expedition was going through. They were celebrating their first year anniversary from the release.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of new things going on. The set list was rearranged for like, you know, a little special circumstance. And up to top it all off again, as we said, I love cosplay, and the amount of dedication, like the amount of cosplays that there were, the amount of detailed work, it was insane. It was insane. Especially we were standing on the second floor, so we had like, the arena was huge. By the way, I've never been that particular arena. There were a lot of red berets, like very signature.
Obviously.
And at one point when the lights just like dropped on the below stage, all you see is red.
Nice.
All you see is red. It was like, oh, I'm such a geek. I love it. It was beautiful. It was a well-needed holiday, but at the same time, I was so looking forward to it because Expedition 33 was such a huge part of me. Like last year, like it came at the right time. I felt for me, and it was an emotional roller coaster.
To be honest, it's one of without any argument, honestly, it's one of the best, video games to ever have been
Personally,
created.
yes.
I mean, there's Baldur's Gate 3, and we can always argue like different ones based on preference, but I think Expedition 33 is one of those that really captured the emotions of a lot of different people.
One of those like really significant one that people is gonna remember in years.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really glad that you got to experience that, honestly. And I mean, it's one of the interests that we share as well, like Expedition 33, and especially with Jade. And in fact, we do have the Lumina converter up there, which
I will be stealing.
I may make you one if you want.
No,
I
he
think I
wants
can, yeah.
particularly that one.
This one?
He wants to steal that one, yes.
See it, take it.
But so you mentioned that there were a large number of cosplayers. You did not cosplay there yourself, didn't you?
No.
Did
Because initially,
you were
like,
traveling
we had a lot of traveling. We had limited luggage space. The thought was there. I really wanted to do like the typical French baguette, red beret, striped t-shirt. But then I was like, listen, let me just enjoy it.
That's fair.
Let me just enjoy it. In fact, it was the only orchestra that I've been in like recently where I barely have any recordings.
Okay.
Because I only recorded a particular segment. Listen, let me just go over like one segment and then like we can nerd out together. At one point they brought out SK on drones, a fully scaled SK going around the stadium. I'm not joking.
So you shared it on your
exactly. That
your
was the
Instagram.
only footage I took because it came out like so randomly. It was fully droned. It was like going, you can barely like almost touch it. I was like, oh my God. Then my partner hasn't played Expedition 33 yet, and he was also like, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I was like, insane. It was insane. Well, I was like expecting nothing because in orchestra I go to listen.
Of course.
There aren't many like visuals.
Yeah.
It's none of that. But the second it came out and they did the voice acting and it was like, wee.
But I think to be honest, like nowadays, especially with these video game concerts that they do, it's much more of a audio-visual experience rather than just the music. I mean, because there's so much effort put into the visual design of a game, not just in terms of like graphics quality, in just like it's practically an art at this point. The way it's portrayed, the way everything is designed, it's for a particular purpose. But I wanted to ask you, in fact, since we're on the topic of Expedition 33, two questions, honestly. Your favorite character and your favorite song, since you were there.
Okay. So
I do have mine, by the way, and I'll share them if you want later. But yes,
I want to hear it. So my favorite character would have to be SK.
Oh,
I can't. If I had to have a second character, it would be CL. Because I love that backstory. It was like, and I love her team. Her soundtrack, but my favorite soundtrack from the whole, I don't know how many hours they have, is Un Vie en Peindre, which is The Life We Paint, or The Life You Paint. It is insane. I listened to that on a daily. It was on my Spotify Wrapped. It was on 2 separate playlists, Spotify Wrapped.
Wow.
I love it. I listen to the car, I listen when I'm depressed, I listen everything. I love it.
The music of that game is incredible. Like, one of my favorite songs there is the Lumiere one.
Oh, Lumiere.
Lumiere, but I think it's the old Lumiere one, Ma.
Okay.
The kind of like
Yes, when you visit
it's
the
really good. It's really good. That one, and my favorite character, and this may be controversial a little bit, but it's Renoir. Absolutely Renoir.
Okay.
Now both.
Strong character.
Okay,
yes.
I'm not gonna spoil anything if you have
Yes,
but
yes, yes.
both
versions.
both
yeah.
versions.
Okay, I get that. I
Both
get that.
versions.
No, and I agree.
Because they have like such I think duality to it, and I kind of relate to both of them. Like they're both fucking cool, man.
They're insane.
The aesthetic of Renoir, like when you meet him the first time,
It's like
with the suit and everything.
Okay.
And the cane, like the noise of the
Like-
cane and everything. That's one of the cosplays I want to do, by the way. Like the cane, I want to have like a speaker in the cane which clicks
Amazing.
every time it makes the.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like Zazie. You know, yeah. Give it a
So-
sense.
Great experience over the weekend.
Amazing.
Uh,
Fully energized.
and you have sure.
Please lend
And-
me some.
And you have apparently a passion for video gaming, but also for cosplaying and for interpreting characters.
Yes.
Uh, the first time I saw you portraying your elf character in the LARP, remind me the name.
Eldrin.
Eldrin. Because I always confuse it with Myron's.
All
Yeah,
time.
all time. Yeah, that's it. We had like the first episode. Everyone was saying like Aldrich.
But actually, our character got along very well in the very beginning.
I had fun.
We had a lot of
speaking
fun.
and conversing with you.
Also because your character is like super, fancy and walking around like judging everyone and blah blah. And
So
and it's
calm.
all exactly like it's very collected and it's very and it's all based. I think he's a mage, right?
It's a mage, yes.
And it's very collected and it's very just looks around and judges everybody.
Like
blah,
I
blah.
did not design the character myself, but when I saw the characteristics, when I saw the look, what I had to portray, I was like, yes.
You were having the
you
time
could-
of your
I
life. Like
loved
honestly,
it.
like you could tell.
I loved it. So like, put me on a stage. I'll be here every day.
And my
I don't
character
mind.
is like super gruff and like quite aggressive with everybody. And it's like
Big
very
muscles, big
like
strong
very,
man.
Yeah, like. But strangely enough, they had a quite a good banter in the beginning until then. Obviously, my character started discovering stuff
Yes,
about
exactly.
yours, and he was
No,
like,
literally,
"Fuck this guy."
Exactly, without going into much detail.
course.
We went through a lot of like different characteristics between us. We started off very friendly in a sort of joking
Yes.
manner, and then he barely wanted to talk to me. Looked at me in the worst ways possible. Wanted to kill me.
You started chasing me while I was walking around, just
Exactly.
looking at me, like staring daggers into me and
I
stuff.
love that.
And
I love that.
And I think that energy that we had in the LARP, we brought the same energy into the game when we
Yeah.
played the 0.2
Yeah.
episode
I built
together.
Yes.
Because you're playing a very different character.
Oof.
It's still an elf,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
But obviously it's not a mage.
Exactly.
Do you want to tell us
yes.
a little bit more
Yeah.
about this starry guy?
Oh, of course. Okay, so stars.
So what's your character name?
So my name is Porge, which is short for Porvandir Gue'lann. I play a druid, which is now into the circle of the stars.
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 That's where the stars come from.
You know,
That's where the stars
you catch
come.
the vibe. You catch the stars. So yes, very different than an elvish mage.
Like a very very different
Completely
vibe.
different, and even the sort of the backstories of both. I mean, the elf I play in life, Eldrin, is very regal, very very formal, almost like above all
Like a
else.
noble-
So
like a
everyone
noble
looks
sort
down
of-
on everyone. While my character in this new campaign, the Ringland Chronicles,
Ringland
is a bit different. He is less royal. He is more
He seems a bit
attentive.
more, a bit more grounded, a bit more, down
He's
to earth.
humbled. He was humbled.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
He seems-
He had a humbling experience, to be fair.
Literally.
Well,
yeah.
obviously I don't know nothing about it
course.
because this is part of your backstory.
So here's the thing with the campaign. The way we're doing it is that every character has obviously their own backstory, which the other characters don't know. So it's not like we sat around the table for the first time and I grew up in this tavern and my father was the tavern keep kind of thing, you know.
None of that.
They don't know almost like they barely know anything about the other characters around the table.
They know,
and that's by design
much.
Because kind of we also want to capture that expression and feeling of when you start learning about each other's backstories on camera. You also had 0.1s individually.
Yes.
So there was like a continuation of your backstory separately.
Yeah. By the way, I think we should specify that because we have.
Didn't we?
We did, but
we
in the lost one.
In the lost episode.
In the lost one.
So
the way, and this is something that me and Kurt we discussed in the very beginning of deciding to start this campaign, because Kurt was like, I don't want to start at level 1, and I completely agreed with him. I was like, okay, maybe we can start. I think maybe level 3 is a good starting point for a campaign. And then we had the idea that why don't we play level 1 and level 2 as like some sort of pocket into the previously.
Yeah. To be fair, we had the idea first and foremost before all of that to have several one-shots to practice.
Yes.
And those were supposed to be the level 1 and the level 2.
I think because we said we're also going to play, maybe we're going to play with different characters, we're going to try different things out, but then in the end we didn't have time for that.
Time to do anything.
Also because then, as always, we have decided to start the campaign way earlier than we initially anticipated.
Yeah. It's more fun for me.
So the campaign was supposed to start in September 2026.
Yes.
That's when the campaign was supposed to start. But then we had a number of opportunities that we said, listen, we need to start it earlier. We applied for funds and got denied. We had to move the schedule a little bit earlier than that. We also...
Middle finger to that, misses.
And then basically we played the 0.1, which was 1 player, 1 DM. It's 1 DM, obviously.
1 player, 1 DM, because the other campaign, the other sessions, we have 1 player, 2 DM.
I said the same thing in the last episode, man. I got...
Yes. So should we elaborate on the last episode, or will we be hanging like
Let's
that?
see if it's hanging.
I love that. Girl, it's lost. Gone forever.
So, 0.1 was the player and the DM, just 1 player, and it was a continuation of the backstory, just kind of to build a little bit more, and for the players to start getting into the character. Then we had the 0.2, which was 2 players and the DM, so that you start building bonds with one particular player, and it was Bernard and Pepe.
And yes, we had the 2 episodes, me and Bernard, and Michelle and Tanya.
And then we had the first episode,
Session
which was
1.
all 4 of them together.
Yeah.
Which
was hilarious.
Chef's kiss times 1,000. It was so good.
Also, by the way, for everyone, these 6 episodes, because it's like obviously 1 episode each for every player, and then 2 episodes 2 and 2.
Exactly.
These episodes will be available in the future on our Patreon, exclusively for our Patreon supporter at
Mega Geek
level or higher, because these are heavy spoilers episodes. Which talk about, you know,
they will eventually will be available for the public, but way ahead in the future.
Yes.
But the idea is, as Pepe is saying, they have significant spoilers in them. Every character has secrets, and I made sure that they do. So once that character secrets are out, then we will release it for the Patreon. But you're going also to see how we used to record things before we started the first episode.
That's it.
Yes.
That's
you
true.
know,
That's
we only had, I think, a tablecloth here. We didn't have the different curtains. The setup was a little bit different. You know, so yeah, it was much more like this is how we used to do it in the old way.
Yes.
So long ago.
It's gonna, we're gonna look back at our younger self and say how many things you did not know.
Oh yeah,
you did not have to carry these burdens.
Yeah, and speaking of Patreons, also like after every episode we're recording about 20-30 minutes, kind of like what we're calling the short rest. Like after the episode, kind of like to unwind a little bit and talk about what happened, and we have some really hilarious moments.
Listen, the short rest after the first episode, Bernard pulled up a number.
Let me just hide under the table real quick for that one.
You really want to go and watch it once it will be live. Obviously, it will go online once the campaign goes live. So first week of June.
Y'all enjoy that.
Enjoy that because it's gonna be fucking funny.
It is.
So funny. And so we had our first session together in the 0.2. in which Defiance, my character, met Porvandir for the first time in a very remote location. And they immediately started having, I would say a pretty good chemistry, pretty good banter.
Very good chemistry.
And we had a lot of fun in the 0.2. And then in session 1, obviously, then our characters, they traveled for a little bit together.
Yes.
Like we have a time skip of a few weeks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they travel together and they find themselves in session 1 meeting these other two characters. And the vibe was completely different.
Oh,
because the vibe from 0.2, like we were like, having fun and blah, blah, blah. And like, a lot of fun stuff
I feel
happened.
like the vibe was upgrading itself all the way from 0.1. Because a little background knowledge. I don't have much knowledge on D&D, campaigns. All I've done so far in my life have been one-offs, like one-shots. I don't even know the terminology. One shot. So when Kurt had come on to me and told me, like, are you interested in this? I was very hesitant because obviously I do not want to let the production side like down from a level of knowledge because I don't have that background. But anyway, just like many other things, I accepted. So when it came to the
fake it until you make it.
Fake it until you make it. Yes,
exactly.
When it came to the 0.1, I was shitting my pants, guys. I was so scared. In fact, and Kurt can vouch for this, I was waiting for Kurt's narration to finish before I could.
Yeah, so this was a funny thing because part of the 0.1 was also, apart from people warming up and getting into their character, it was also trying to obviously check the technical aspects, see what works, see what doesn't, make sure we get everything right, but also for me to get a feel of how every player role plays. Like I've played with Pepe for a long time before, so I have a very good idea of how Pepe role plays. And with the other three, however, I had no clue. Like with Tanya, with you, and with Michelle, I had no clue. And you will see the role-playing aspect in the 0.1s so different.
Yes.
So you were very polite and respectful, as you said. You were trying to wait for me to stop, but as a DM here, keeping in mind that we're doing a production, I don't want to leave blank silent spaces if they're not meant to be as an emphasis or like something sinking in. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep pulling shit out of my ass now until he says something.
Literally, I'm like.
So then in the break, like we as we did for all the players, like, okay, so what's the rank, what is it, like, okay, so feel free to jump in and
please talk.
Interrupt me.
Interrupt me. I was like, oh,
I can do that.
I can do that. Okay, so you'll notice that all of a sudden now I'm jumping on the DM, like, oh, he's a professional now.
No, but to be honest, I and this is something that is valid for you, but it's valid for everybody. Obviously, I didn't see Tanya and Michelle 0.1 or 0.2. I saw you in the 0.2, and I saw you a lot more confident in session 1. Like in session 1, obviously, like you will see like a lot of shit happens in a very short span of time, but I saw you like like standing on business immediately.
It was like I'm into the roleplay. I was immersed. It wasn't not that the fact that I was not immersed in 0.1, but let's just say the lack of knowledge on how things work. Listen, I've never seen the amount of dedication Kurt has in like this project than in any other situation. So on that note, I love dedicated work. I love commitment. So automatically I pushed myself to try and learn certain stuff. Mistakes in 0.1 are avoided in 0.2, and they go on. So by the time that we've reached the campaign, I knew some things which I've suffered or let's say wasted time on 0.1, 0.2.
So that's something that I noticed as well, like for all players, but specifically for you as well. As we always know, like we always say, that Pepe is incredibly knowledgeable on D&D due to the experience. But for you, someone who's coming in fresh off the street, so to speak, into D&D, and you were in episode 1, you knew what your character did precisely. Even in the 0.2, but in episode 1 specifically, you knew exactly what to do, when to do it, and exactly what everything did, which is incredibly helpful for a DM, because that's one thing less that I have to keep in mind. Like, okay, I need to guide you through it, you know, or have a player, for example, Pepe, to kind of like guide you through it. And that's also why you are seated in the way that you are during the campaign. It's no spoiler, but like Pepe's here, there's Michelle, and there's Bernard and Tanya. And it's like 2 experienced people, 2 new people, both next to you and in front of you, kind of like there's a dynamic. So you kind of, we're also paired with regards to 0.2, so the 0.2s are opposite each other for the simple reason there are things that come up during the campaign that Tanya and Michelle would know that you wouldn't, and they mean something to them. And having
look at each other.
A look across is a lot more subtle than suddenly looking to the side. You know. So I tried. There was a lot of thought going into it. Again, surprisingly,
dedicated work. It's a lot of knowledge that you guys don't necessarily see.
You've seen a couple of weeks.
But yes, that is why I wanted to push my, because again, at the end of the day,
listen, man,
you're part of something.
It really showed. It really showed. Like, I would say we had one very, I wouldn't say a very big battle, but a big battle in session 1. And I would say the absolute, to be honest, everyone played very well. I feel
it was nice flow.
Listen, I feel I was the one that played the worst in that combat. Honestly, because Michelle did exactly what she was meant to do.
Yeah.
Tanya
did the best thing she could do.
Yeah, she did the best move. Like, she pulled out one spell. She made the combat incredibly better for all of us, for the entire team. And Bernard was the absolute MVP of the combat, because you just fucking smashed everybody.
I loved that. But before, that's the thing. Before the first episode, like the first unition, let's say, of everyone, I went through all my skills. I went through everything that my character could possibly do. It's not perfect. I mean, you'll notice that some things I need like assistance or what to do. But like, I had a general idea of what my limitations are, what level 2 spells I could use, what those spells do, what the side effects, let's just say, that they cost.
And to be fair, it's okay to ask questions, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not expecting anyone to not ask questions ever. Like, it's okay. Like, sometimes you get, okay, DM, I have this spell, like, what does it do, kind of? Or like, can I do this?
Like, can I,
you know, or can this spell do this? You know, one thing that I really press my players to do is to show don't tell kind of thing.
Yes,
you know, so one of the things that a lot of players get hung up on is, I would like to roll for this, and that breaks immersion a little bit. I want to try and have like an immersive experience for the players.
Oh, it's true.
So like, act as if you are Porge and say, okay, so I want to do this. Okay, and then we'll tell you what to roll and what.
No, that's
or for example, sometimes once I had an experience where one of the players said, okay, I want to see if there's magic around, if I can sense magic. Like, okay, so cast detect magic. That's an option that you have.
Okay, that's good.
You know, and you can guide players that way.
It does help. Immersiveness.
The immersion is there. It has to be there, because I love to play and write campaigns which are narrative and role playing, more immersed, like more heavy on the role play rather than just combat. Combat needs to be there.
Yes,
because combat is fun.
It's challenging. It's adrenaline,
and it's essentially what your character does. That's why you have the character sheet.
Yes,
you know. But the storytelling experience, that's what I like to do, and obviously, you know.
Oh, and the story is
and we had immediately, like, the first encounter we had, not encounter as in battle, social like encounter. A social encounter we had, was like a very chilling moment, because it was
episode, because totally different than what we've had in 0.1, 0.2.
Exactly,
like completely different.
Listen, first, I don't know for your 0.1, but my 0.1 was almost like a solo thing for the entire thing. I met with some people from my past, that we have met also in the 0.2.
Okay.
Obviously, not gonna say anything else apart from that. But the vibe was like, you know, was a upbeat thing. Like, we had fun. Like, we had, you know.
I wouldn't say mine was upbeat and fun and happy and we.
No, I'm saying the 0.2. The 0.2 was okay. Like, we went to see a show. We can say we went to see a show.
Good, yeah.
Let's just say it was more exactly more performing than the 0.1.
That was also by design, because you will see that 0.1 starts by hitting the ground running in a very almost like, not grimdark, but in a very grim situation. And I wanted that on purpose to be very different than the 0.2s, even for the other players. They weren't happy kind of thing, but there's a sharp contrast because I wanted the players to feel out of place and like a fish out of water, like not in terms of like the roleplay, but in terms of the story. Like, oh shit goes down kind of thing.
And in session 1 that definitely happens, because from 0.2 that we went from nice, we are at a theater watching people perform and blah blah blah, and like, okay, so you're traveling here now, and then
shit happens.
Shit goes like down. Boom. There's no like wee.
And there was like like you're going 100 miles per hour, and then you realize your brakes don't work.
It's like
that was the feeling.
Good analogy.
Good analogy.
And to be honest, and I have to mention, Tanya is insane in roleplay.
Yes.
I put this into frame because she initiated the roleplay of
She was the
campaign.
first one jumping into the roleplay after his description.
Literally, she set the tone.
Yes.
Like I automatically, I was in place, described as the DM's description, but in the tone Tanya put in. I was so like impressed. I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. I've played with Tanya and the LARP. It's completely different.
She's a very, very good role player, and her 0.1. This is the thing. We all started 0.1. It's a little bit slower. She started her 0.1 like full on roleplay immediately in character. It was like amazing. Like even you, like you started like immediately in character, but there's always like that element of like, okay, I'm getting started.
I was the new nerd kid in class. Like,
but
who's gonna bully me?
She came here in character, kind of thing. She came here in character before we started recording.
Also, Tanya was, which we haven't seen yet. But Tanya also had the cold open of the campaign.
Oh yes.
Because
it's worth actually explaining the structure of the episode. So basically, the episode for the campaign will start with a cold open. For the first couple of ones, there's going to be one player and the DM experience. Today is going to be Bernard.
Today's gonna be Bernard.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Stars, I was gonna choke.
So the first one, there's a cold open, and then there's like the intro segment where we say hi to everyone, and then announcements, that sort of thing. Then we have hopefully the cinematic intro, or at least some sort of intro,
the intro title, and then we start with the game.
We have the title, by the way. We have the title card.
Okay.
It got sent to me yesterday, and I haven't had time. 2 days ago, and they still haven't had time to download it, but it's there. And then we do the episode. They haven't seen. I haven't seen the final product yet. I haven't seen the animated title card.
Things today.
So we were saying. So Tanya was in the cold open. She was alone with you in the cold open. So obviously she had already that. She saw something that we didn't. She experienced something that we didn't. And then when we jumped into the game, she was ready. She was like, boom. On the spot.
I remember looking at her. She's right next to me. I was like, oh, we're going?
And they weren't part of the cold open. So they weren't even in the room.
We still don't know.
They were in the cellar, honey.
I think we're not gonna know until the episode actually airs, because we're not gonna see anything.
Oh, how fun!
So we're gonna see it with you, with the rest of you. We're not gonna know what happened in the cold open.
It's gonna be in the premiere chat, everyone.
And so Tanya was absolutely great opening. I was trying to pull you and Michelle in. Because I know that it's very, especially in the beginning, like when you haven't wear the mask of your character for a long time, it's very hard to jump into something. And that was the first time that we were, all the four of us at the table, was the first session that we were recording all together. And there was a lot of tension in the room. Like when we arrived, even before recording, you remember like everybody was like... Like there was a vacuum of air in the room.
It was, let's just say, the anxiety.
Yes, there was a lot of anxiety.
Sweating, honey.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and pull. And in fact, like the first thing, maybe not the first thing that Defiance does, but one of the first things that he does is like calling for
because we know each other. Like we know each other much more than we know the others.
Than the others. Yeah, we've
automatically
been together for 3 weeks.
Like yes, there's Michelle and Tanya right next to me. Their characters Reina and Lugi. But automatically, I want to hear Defiance's voice because
That's the only.
That's the only familiar.
Yeah, that's the only familiar person that is.
Maybe
that is around.
not want to hear his voice, but you know what I mean.
You'll have.
But
to.
yes,
You'll
I mean
have to.
the campaign. I think it started off really, really well with you guys playing the way you did, and both in combat and in roleplay. I don't think I could have.
People knew what they
done
needed
anything.
to do. Like
Yeah.
the tasks, the roles.
Yes.
Were almost scripted. Like it was too good. I loved doing that.
And-
So no, I want
Go
to go ahead because I wanted to ask him about the character description. But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I wanted to add something else regarding session 1 that we played. Not session 1, the podcast.
Let's call it episode 1.
Episode 1.
Episode
Episode 1. In episode 1, like you said, like everyone fell into their role very well.
It's true.
Even though
It was felt like.
even though like when we started combat, I realized that everyone had done their homework. Because everyone knew where to position, how to act, and blah blah. But also in role play, I love the fact that our characters are all so different from each other. In the sense that like I really like the way that Michelle is portraying her character so far. Obviously, we only seen one episode, because she's like, you can see that she's genuinely like a good person.
Yeah.
Like she was the one saying, okay,
Pure.
You
like
should be doing the good thing, and you know some other people. No,
yeah, I think maybe we are the more like a bit more scheming one,
Like,
me and you.
yeah, it's chaos.
And then there is like Tanya it's her own thing. She's just different. She's just different.
She's the tangent.
She's built different.
I love her character.
Yeah. No, to be honest, I felt like everyone fell into place,
That's true.
both in the way we deal with each other and in the way we are insufferable with each other. Because we had a couple of moments, me and you. I had a moment with Michelle as well. And she was like, "Oh, fuck this guy!" Like,
Yes, I was like, oh no.
like I just said that, like, you know, when she said like, "Yeah, that was what I said like an hour ago." I'm like,
That's
you were
true.
right 1 hour ago, but blah, blah, blah.
Through
And
these little links.
and those links have started even Tanya and Michelle between them, because obviously they know each other for a
Not as long as
not as long as our
your
characters,
two characters.
but I think they know each other for like
I
a
couple
few
of
suffered
days.
more. I
days.
suffered a bit more, yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
As you can see, the chemistry is immaculate.
No, I wouldn't
But,
have changed it for anyone. I love our characters.
we-
And I love Pepper, guys. Don't get me wrong. No. Anything for him.
But yes, I mean, I wanted to ask about your character description, and also
Yeah.
wanted to talk a little bit on how long we've been working on this, since
Yes.
and working on it together. So your character, Porvandir Gue'lann, or Porgay, as his nickname is. So what does he look like? I know that there is a description in the first episode, obviously.
Of course.
But for the people watching us now, a month before it actually goes live, what does your character look like?
All right, so let me tell you what to look forward to. So we have this young elf, who has porcelain skin and is blonde, brunette. You know, catch the vibe. He has
Blonde or brunette?
catch the vibe. All right,
It's
it's
a
somewhere.
vibe,
It's somewhere in
it's a
between. You don't know how elves look.
It's up for interpretation.
Ashy blonde? Ashy blonde?
It's too much. So I have porcelain skin and we have this blonde brunette. It's a bit of a mix. And then we have pointed ears. Porgay doesn't have this distinctive look that would make you say like, oh wow, he's so royal, he's luxury. None of that. None of the typical elves we see in the fictions. But he has a very, very sort of let's say calm look.
Okay.
He is well versed in the arcane and knowledge and the natures that surround the druidic aspects. Automatically, he has a very, very beautiful backstory. Obviously, I'm biased. About the backstory, that's true. I mean, again, the physical aspects, there's nothing that's typically
Stands out.
that stands
In
out.
fact, even in your miniature, I think it's remarkably one of the not least impressive, but it's one of the most
Humble.
humble looking.
Yes.
It's true.
Yes, and that is the intent, because I wanted to put the backstory in
Yeah.
sort of like, let's say, what actually happened to this person. Like, let's build up on that.
And we'll probably have a couple of social media posts depicting your miniature and that sort of thing, and the artwork if we have the artwork ready on time. But
we're gonna share the all the miniatures, I believe. No?
Yes, before the launch of the campaign, you're all going to have a visual look.
And actually, it's even funnier the fact that we have been put together since the very beginning, because our characters, in that sense, they are polar opposites. Like my character is like when my character enters in a room, everyone is looking in that direction.
Yes.
Everyone. Meanwhile, your character is like, he's like, I'm gonna.
The only thing that is quite given is the fact that he's an elf and he has very long ears and the pale skin.
Yeah.
But my idea is, and I've spoken to Kurt about this, that my character is going through changes. He will eventually like evolve.
Menopause.
Menopause.
See, menopause.
Yes, but in that way, like the things will shape him, you know. So yes, there will be changes in the character. But I mean, nothing that will, hopefully, not morph me into anything else.
Well,
but
I mean, which said by a druid.
I mean, okay, not a wild shape situation. No, something more pertinent, you know. But that is like the physical aspect of it. If we're going on backstory, though, I remember.
No spoilers.
None of that. It's more about the history of how the backstory came to.
Oh
be.
yeah.
This is a good one. So Kurt worked on all our backstories. I remember mine arrived at around 11:30 p.m. on a fine day.
Weekday.
On a weekday.
I think it was a Wednesday. I'm not sure. It was like somewhere in the middle of the week.
It might as well have been a Wednesday. And then Kurt had asked me, like, listen, tell me what you want of your character, what likes, what anything, like anything that can build a story on. And I remember I gave Kurt like a paragraph. I was like, this is what I want for my character. Nothing too major. He didn't give me like a word count or like, Isma, write more, write less. None of that.
No, I mean, Peppa came up with 30 pages.
Nah, that's a lie. I came up with
29.
3 pages. Then became 7 pages.
I think yours is like 30,000 words long or something like that.
That's the thing. Like, I gave Kurt a paragraph.
10,000 words. Sorry, because yours I think is like 3,000 words.
You heard the man, 3,000 words. I gave him 65, 70 maximum. So he sent me the pager, the document. I was like, Kurt, whoa, okay. I started reading. I remember going back and from the chat and the document, paragraph by paragraph. I'm like, whoa, Kurt, this is good. Then I disappear and continue reading. I'm a slow reader, guys. I continue reading. I was like, so good, Kurt, write a book. Like, it's so good. And I am not a reader. Like, it's a very huge deficit of mine that I do not read books. So reading something that good is far off from a book, obviously. But I get lost on a paragraph. I was hooked. I'm not joking, and it's not because I don't sugarcoat shit. But it's not because he's in front of me. It was honestly so good. And I loved it. I loved it. It perfectly described the 65, 70 words I gave him into a beautiful backstory, start to finish.
Honestly, I can't wait till eventually that comes out because I think it's a really good.
Oh, I'm biased. I feel like mine is the best.
It's a really good narrative. You've all got very good backstory. Some of them are a little bit more. Some of them are a little bit more embellished, and some of them are a little bit more kind of neutral in tone, depending on obviously the preference of the player. But I think one of the things that is striking about your character specifically is the way that typically druids are portrayed with like mastery over nature, that sort of thing.
Exactly.
And you do have an aspect of that obviously as a druid, but we also wrote the narrative about your character being relatively with a certain affinity to the arcane magic. So not necessarily the natural magics alone, you know. There's an argument that can be said, as we were discussing last time, like with the magic being like the magic is like the manifestation of nature.
That's what I was thinking. Especially as a druid of the Circle of the Stars, because they are so connected with the cosmos, and magic being part of the fabric of reality in a fantasy world. It kind of makes sense that someone that understands the natural world so well, like even like the cosmic aspect so well, it's so well versed in the arcane as well. Much more than a moon druid that just turn into animals, you know?
Here's the thing, I like to make the distinction between the cosmic and the astral, because to me astral is anything relating to the stars and what you do, like that is within the same plane of existence, so to speak. And the cosmic is more obviously the multidimensional, the different, like for example, if there's Infernum, if there is Abyssus, if there is the Feywild, which you call Arendariel. Like these are all, by the way, a little side note on this.
Yes.
We're going to have a series of Instagram posts and
yeah,
TikTok
we are
posts
actually
and that sort of
one
thing.
is already out.
One is already out.
One is already out.
On the lore of the setting, and also we're going to have potentially more information, like more in-depth narrative, like videos, that sort of thing that Rachel and I are working on.
Yeah.
For Patreon members as well, for the Mega Geek and Up.
Yes.
Where we're going to be discussing all of this in detail when it is duly revealed on the campaign, because obviously I want the campaign to be the first experience for everyone to learn about the setting, and then detail will follow. Lectures will follow after.
Of course, like being Yukabai, like your own setting, your own world that you have created, obviously it differs in a lot of ways from other typical worlds of D&D. So it would make sense that for people that follow us and people that see us playing in this world, that they could learn something about how the universe, how the world works, and
so before
the social aspect, and like the multi-planar situation, which by the way, I think in the last episode you also said that you had to create.
Yes, in fact I was going to touch up on that.
Some part.
So basically
for me specifically.
so here's the thing. I've had in the past Yukabai, the setting, that's where like the continent of Yukabai was part of the general multiplanar cosmology of D&D. Okay, so you could make use of like the Nine Hells or the Abyss or
the Feywild, the
Shadowfell, and all. I like the wheel model, right? With the inner and outer planes.
Yeah.
So at first when I built it was like that, but then when I wanted to give a new experience to Bernard, to Tanya, and to Michelle, I could do that easily, because they're not as, I mean, they are experienced in the D&D, but not as experienced as Pepe. Like Pepe's been playing since he was 10 years old. So for Pepe,
nerd alert.
I remember we had a conversation when you were creating your character, and you were saying like, okay, so did we say what your character classes are?
I think we said it in the episode in which we announced.
So
Defiance, my character, is a tiefling.
Yeah.
So he has already devilish heritage, because I've chosen the infernal tiefling, and he's a performer, he's a street performer, he's a bard, which eventually is gonna choose the College of Eloquence, but he has also taken some very
questionable.
How can I say? Let's say questionable decisions in his life. So he's also a warlock.
Yes.
And because I wanted to play a devil, I said I asked to Kurt. I was like, okay, so I would like to have a patron as a warlock that is a devil. Can I choose, I don't know, Asmodeus or Graz or one of the 9 lords of hell? And I was like, we'll see about that. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I would like to know, because I want to know like which one is gonna be, my patron. And he's like, yeah, we'll see. And then he came back, and he was like, I rewrote the entirety of hell and the entirety of the abyss. Do you want to know something? Like, no. I asked him, I said, listen, my character is obviously someone that has studied, because he went into, through his phases of his life. He went through, a big phase of his life that has been academic, let's say. Would he know about these kind of things? I was like, well, those are like very obscure knowledge that almost nobody would know in the entirety of the continent. Like, okay, then I don't want to know anything. I'll find out who's my patron eventually.
So he started finding out during the 0.1.
Yes, I was not expecting to find out so early, honestly. I thought that was gonna come a lot later, but to be honest, like, I've only seen a figure. Like, I know nothing. I really don't know anything. I've seen a figure. I know what he, or at least I know what
the manifestation
looks like. I don't know if that's what he actually looks like. I know his name, or let's say his title, because I don't know if it's, I mean, as a devil, devils, they never see their real names, so it might not be his real name. But apart from that, I just know that like, okay, he's gonna grant me some things, and I will have to do some things in exchange.
So basically, I had to rewrite. Not I had to, but I wanted to. I wanted to rewrite the Nine Hells and the Abyss, because typically like the Nine Hells and the Abyss go hand in hand. Kind of there's certain duality that kind of they're opposite philosophies of the same evil concept. All right. So Abyss is demons, that's chaotic evil, while devils are typically lawful evil.
Also, by the way, this is and this is theme for a whole its own episode of the podcast, because I would love to talk. I mean, as we give knowledge about general D&D. I would love to talk about the Blood War, because it's such an interesting thing. Because, as you said, like they are kind of the two faces of the same evil medal, of the same evil coin, but also they're so different because they are two completely different. And like devils are technically, they were celestials before.
They're so fallen.
But that's a whole.
But anyway, so then when I recreated the Nine Hells, obviously I renamed it to Infernum to obviously be distinct, like. Legally distinct, I suppose.
Copyright.
But
I don't think they have copyrights on the Nine Hells, by the way. I doubt it. I doubt
Nine Hells in the use and they use it. So Nine Hells in that particular sense.
But they don't have copyright on
Inferno, essentially.
Exactly.
So I recreated the Nine Hells and I recreated Infernum and Abyssus. I recreated the 9 Infernal Lords and the 5 Abyssal Lords, I believe. I believe there was only 5. I can't remember, but I think it's 5. Renamed them entirely, gave them different functions, so they're completely different from what the Forgotten Realms lore is. And I did that specifically not just to mess with you. That was a huge part.
No, but I love it, to be honest. I love it.
Not only that, but also to try and give you a new experience the same way the other players would as well.
Which I appreciate very much. And to be honest, it's exciting for me having the ability to learn,
like not know everything,
not know already. Like okay, so my patron is Asmodeus, so he's the Lord of Lies, and it's like
I like that.
It's fun to explore the stuff, because obviously the world, like we're gonna explore the story and we're gonna explore the world, but then whenever he comes and says so there is a creature with big head and a lot of tentacles, I go immediately like, okay, beholder. Which kind of beholder? Like, I start, my brain goes automatically into analyzing
all the knowledge you've had.
Exactly.
And there's also
meanwhile, like that, I can.
And it came up after episode 1 of the campaign. I think it was the next day, like when we did with the lost episode. I think you came to so like, and you were like, I am so pissed at myself.
Yes.
That I couldn't remember that I forgot that about that particular creature.
There was a particular creature that I know the creature.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, can I say which one is the creature?
No, not yet.
No, I'm not gonna say anything there.
Bro, don't spoil.
No, also because that particular and again, like this is something that I shut up about, because that's a bit of lore about that creature that is valid for the canonical universe of D&D. Like that creature that paralyze.
Yeah.
They can't paralyze elves, but that's a lore thing that says, like, it's specified in the stat block of the monster that says this does not work on elves. But that's because of a lore thing of that creature related to elves. I
wouldn't know that for sure.
But then I was like, you know what? We are not in the Forgotten Realms, so that bit of lore might not exist.
This might be like no longer useful.
And you can take it as an assumption. You can assume that every character that you meet to some extent is going to be changed first and foremost to accommodate the party of 4 at your level. Because obviously, like a skeleton at level 1 is one thing, a skeleton at level 10 will be another thing, but I still want to give you a good experience. And also, like, in terms to have these, because I like to modify the the things I throw at my players, because
it's interesting for you as well at the end of the day.
Creates nice mechanics, because okay, so you have an enemy, okay, like a bandit, for example. Okay, so it rolls to attack. Okay, your turn. It rolls to attack.
And then it becomes stale.
It becomes stale.
Yes.
And if combat drags on, if you get a couple of bad rolls where both sides of the combat miss, suddenly it's like the 4th round and the fucking 2 HP monster is still standing, stabbing at you.
And that happens a lot, especially at low levels.
Low levels, it happens a lot.
Happens a lot because you have a very low roll.
Of course.
You only do 1 attack and you only have unlimited amount of spells.
And damage you can deal out.
Very small damage.
You have very limited toolkit. Like, okay, you don't really have rerolls or like advanced.
That is also one of the reasons why we said let's start at least at level 3, because for people, even for people, it's more enjoyable to see you know, a skillful adventurer rather than see a fucking noob.
You see the growth inside the character sheet as well. Like I went from having a lot of spells to a lot of spells.
But to be fair, as a druid, you do have it is one of the so it's one of the characters that has the most options. Because just at a face value, you have you can do the normal things like, you know, melee or ranged attacks.
Exactly.
You can do spells. You can do wild shapes. Then you take obviously your subclass Circle of the Stars. Then you have other uses to wild shapes. And
and within the use, you have different choices that you can make.
And
so
so
you have so many options.
At level 3 druid, you have 3 options for your Circle of the Stars.
Very situational. So they don't all do the same thing. You have something that attacks, something that is healing, something that is very, again, situational on its own.
I will say, however, your knowledge of what your character did you a lot of credit in the first episode, because you knew what was maybe going to happen. You were prepared to utilize your subclass to the best extent, rather than just, you know, main roading just offense, for example.
Exactly.
You know,
just I was preparing, then I was dishing out damage. I was taking, I mean, considering that, you know, I've played literally almost last, because good rolls don't exist here. I had a lot of time to think between turns. But no, all in all, I felt like I knew what I was doing in a way that, I still needed help with minor things. But I knew where I was going, like where it was leading to. So it could all have gone to batshit.
It could have.
Emma.
But in the end, listen, you risked a little bit and you were rewarded, because in the end, you know, you got what you wanted.
That is what I mean by evolving. Like I am evolving with my character. The knowledge as well.
Well done. Well done.
You're going to have to watch that episode. It's gonna be...
I do have one question for you. Why the druid? Out of all the classes in D&D, obviously we were saying like the druid is one of the most complete classes, in the sense that a druid can cover almost every pillars of play. So it's one of the most complicated. I would say the most complicated, together with wizard. How come did you choose a druid out of all classes?
Okay, so let's say that I did not know that druid is the most difficult one to start with. Let's just begin with that and build on it. But I have this thing for like let's say nature. So druids automatically are inclined with nature. Think of the backgrounds and all that. Then I remember going to Kurt and I told him, listen, Kurt, I really want to do
Circle of the Spores.
Circle of Spores.
Mushroom druid,
Exactly. And I told him, is this viable? And we took the logistics into place, and Kurt told me, listen, it's difficult to like corroborate.
So the thing is this, that it is still a valid subclass for 5.5 that we're playing. But for new players especially, I wanted them to specifically select 5.5 updated classes. So if Pepe had come to me and said, listen, I want if Pepe wanted to play Spores Druid, I probably would have let him, because I know that he can handle that.
But when an experienced player, it's quite a lot. And I had I watched videos on it, and they were like long videos explaining how difficult it is to get into certain combat situations, and it's a lot.
It's a lot for an different version of
it's a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, if I were to like progress knowledge based in D&D, like I would give it a go if I were given the opportunity. Like,
and it might be updated. I mean,
and it might be that your character dies, so you have to learn a different class.
I don't plan on dying anytime soon. Okay, I'm doing well. But then it came. So what other than the spores do you like? I was like, okay, I see Circle of the Stars.
The stars.
I like
stars. So the second I see that I could literally take the embodiment of a constellation.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I was like, I'm great. I want this. Oh, but you don't forget that there's also one character. I want this. I want the stars. I was like, stars are cool.
I want the stars.
Stars are cool. And I'm speaking from someone, again, who does not have a lot of knowledge in other classes.
But I think it was a very good choice for you.
I am loving it. I feel like I am so in love with the things that now I can do. The array of spells I can cast, and obviously certain spells you can mix and down a long rest, that I know. But it's a beautiful class.
The druid is very strong, and the Circle of the Stars, I think, is one of the like from a mechanical standpoint, is one of the most efficient one, in the sense that it really builds well on the strength point of the druid. It really builds well on its own. Like when you will level up like to level 6 and you get to the next, you know, ability from the, you know, all the stages of the subclass, they all build on each other. Like it's a very well crafted class. It's a fun
and I do love a class which has it's not limited to only ranged, so that I can have like,
you can go melee, you can go range, you can go area of effect spells, you can go single target,
I have crowd control,
you can go
crowd control,
you can go scouting, you can go espionage with the wild chicks
you can you can turn into a hummingbird, a spider, you know, like a really like the realm of possibilities.
And I wanted something that has a lot of role-playing capabilities, and a druid is jam-packed. It has so much like in it that you can like play around with.
There is very little that you cannot insert your character into in any situation. In the sense, it's a very it's the opposite of a niche character.
It's true.
Literally, it's the opposite of a niche character.
Yeah, because this is
well seasoned.
As a druid, well seasoned. As a druid, you can role play feeling perfectly fine in nature, or feeling completely out of context when you're in a big city.
Exactly.
Or when you're, you know, like during travel, you can be a guide. During, you know, if we stay at a royal palace, you can feel like completely, you know, out of your your element.
Of course.
Like, it always gives you an aspect to role play, either to be completely comfortable or completely uncomfortable.
No, I agree. Again, to be honest, I don't think I would have picked something else. Well, once I've seen what the capabilities are, the whole race with class situation, my mind goes directly to it.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's nice. That's nice.
I mean, it's the same way like my mind goes to a warlock, and you know, your mind goes to a bard.
Yeah, man. And this is the thing. Like, obviously, a lot of classes gives you opportunity to role play, but there are certain classes that
do it better. I mean,
that do it better. Yes, there are certain classes that do it better. Like again, sometimes,
and not even
like they don't need anything else, in the sense like if I play a fighter, I can role play a fighter, I don't know, which is a hunter, an archer, and he's completely fine in nature, but he feels a bit off when he's in the city. But I'm adding that to the class. The druid has that already built in.
Well-rounded.
You know?
Yeah, and we're not necessarily saying in terms of roleplay, in terms of like persuasion or deception or that sort of thing. Just the general vibe of of the narrative of the character. And
it's nice. I like fitting in everywhere.
And what,
of course.
And what kind? This is more than saying on the background, because obviously the background is something that you work together with Kurt, and he's gonna be part of the larger story.
Of course.
But what is the story that you feel the need to tell through Porvandir?
If at all, I mean.
If at all. Like, obviously, like what pushed you to build Porvandir in that way, so that you could, you know...
Okay, so I believe that the way Porvandir is built and will be built is built on... is placed on, let's say there's these 3 columns, like strong pediments of where everything like originated from, and on these podiums, whatever, pillars, amazing, I've built these 3 words. So let's say that Porvandir, based off of his backstory, is in he's seeking knowledge. Okay, so he wants to learn, wants to grow. Things happen, so automatically they shape one's choices, future, etc. But let's say that I could place a haiku on top of my forehead right now.
Okay.
I would go with stars, heartbreak, and power.
Stars, heartbreak, and power. Wow.
And that like will evolve around Porvandir. I feel like it has already shaped certain situations.
It affected 0.1, affected 0.2.
So, there's a lot of work there.
I think what happened in 0.2 makes sense to one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I got him thinking, guys. I got him thinking.
This is something that I really love like, you know, exploring characters' backstory, like finding out why a person is a certain way. In the game, it's so interesting because obviously with the NPCs, some of them they have a deeper background, some of them
Of course.
don't, because obviously as a dungeon master you can't develop every NPC to the extent that a player character is developed.
Yes.
But that's why I love having moments of role play just between the party,
players,
because there is so much to explore and so much to understand of, okay, why this character is a certain way, why does he speak that way, why does he behave that way, what happened in his
Gets
life.
you thinking every time they make a choice. You're all automatically, you want to contest it if it's not something that your character would agree with, but at the end of the day they have their own rights, beliefs, choices,
And
whatever.
every choice that they make shows you a little bit of why is that character like that. So it's
Exactly. The build up of
yes,
everything
is incredible.
exciting. It's very exciting.
Yes.
Speaking of exciting, we should start getting ready for the next section of the day for us, but it's going to be a couple of weeks for you. But yeah, I mean, let's wrap this up. I think Pepe always asks one question to all our guests, so I'll leave it up to him.
So if you had to choose a class in real life,
Okay.
or let's say more than choose a class, like if you have to put yourself into a class, like which class would you feel like I am this class in real life?
Okay. So
Like, obviously, classes
that's
in,
a
like,
good
D&D
question.
class.
That's a good question. You know, the amount of times people have tried me in the past few months, that it inclines me to push monk as my choice.
Monk.
Because the idea of going up to someone and just punching them in the face, it is so...
I think you already embody a monk by, exhibiting this level of patience.
Oh, yes.
And inner discipline.
Yes, let me be professional about
You
it.
had to use a lot of discipline points to focus on yourself, not to punch people.
Jokes aside.
Yeah.
I feel like a monk's sort of oath situation is quite act.
Okay.
I like the passion, not necessarily the brawn or the muscle and all that, but there's a sort of like a psyche to it, which is quite cool.
And also like that
like,
dedication that they have to their, their art.
Exactly. Above all else, I feel like I would again, druid would automatically always take like part one. But let's just say I'm choosing something which is not that biased.
Okay.
I would go with monk.
So, okay, so we're saying that if your character dies, you're gonna play a monk.
Listen, if your character dies, think of the next subclass or whatever class you're gonna build up on.
If you play a monk, I already have the backstory ready for you, don't worry.
Oh! Watch me die next episode.
Watch me die in episode 2.
Okay, so we're gonna start the episode. So you guys wake up, Porvandir just jumps off
Off the cliff.
just T-poses down.
You're like, and by the way, Porvandir choked during the night on an apple.
So, hi everyone.
I'm the new character.
I'm it. Gay porn.
That's fantastic.
I think that encapsulates Bernard perfectly.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, Bernie, obviously, thank you so much for being here.
that's a pleasure.
Thank you so much for being here for this long.
Oh yeah, so
Also,
of course.
Yes.
The great.
it has been a pleasure to have you on the podcast, and for sure, like that, we will have eventually, let's say mid campaign, we will have another session with players.
Definitely.
So that we try to.
But this is the thing. Now we get into the mathematical realm. We cannot get half of something that is infinite because this is never gonna stop. We're never gonna stop playing the campaign.
Oh no, it's okay.
Listen, I'm okay with that.
That's fine.
Yes.
Zero complaint.
I plan on dying at 60 points.
Yeah,
so, you know.
I'm planning on dying on this table.
I plan on being on life support 150, still rolling.
Oh my god, yes! Moisturize me! That's me.
So yeah, I mean, again, thank you so much for joining us on this podcast.
Yes.
It has been honestly so much fun having you here, and it's been so much fun having you around the table playing with us. So look forward to the Ringland Chronicles campaign, which starts in June.
Can I tell them something?
Yeah, of course.
Can I tell them, listen, you boys. So I've been here, okay? But you have to do your part now as well, huh? Like, you have to support the Epigeeks. Because there's a lot of dedication here. Like, it's amassing so much. Like, stars aside.
Stars aside.
Listen, we have a Patreon going on. You know, you can click those little buttons. You can go on the...
Actually, I wasn't planning on it, but it's a very good segue to actually just recap quickly on what the Patreon is right now.
There's a lot of tiers, but the last one is mega sexy. You know?
So basically, lately we revamped Patreon. We've had a reel on and everything, like we explained on our social medias. But if you're just joining us now, we have 4 tiers for Patreon. We have the general support tier, we have the Super Geek tier, the Mega Geek, and the Epic Geek. So for the top 3, you're there. It's okay. So all of them have access to our Discord, and even the public has access to our Discord. But there's a Patreon exclusive Discord for.
I'm on the Discord as well, guys. You can talk to me.
Yes. Then from Super Geek up, there is the early access to campaign episodes. Not the first one, because we want everyone to watch it
first
together.
Episode will be live for everyone at the same time.
Yeah,
but starting from episode 2, you will have 3 days.
2 or 3 days. So 2 or 3 days.
So you'll have an exclusive.
That's insane, guys.
Yeah, and then for the Mega Geek and the Epic Geek tiers, which are the top 2 tiers, basically we have behind the scenes, we have like photos, we have bloopers that Pep and I usually have a lot of when we're recording something.
So many.
When we're recording like social media stuff, it's insane. Like,
and we also want to say thank you to Rachel for putting together the reel. Like, she showed me the reel with my bloopers from actually recording the video talking about the Patreon.
That was insane.
That's so funny, man.
That was so funny.
My god, my brain was melted.
The best part was when we did it properly, like, did you mention donation box?
yes.
Again, from the top.
So there's that. And the Epic Geek tier, the topmost tier, is going to have physical rewards, which is open only for 5 people. 5 people, you're gonna have a whole 3D printed set of the playable characters from the campaign.
At this stage, we need to say that it's open only for 4 people now.
Oh yes, 4 people!
Because we already have our first Epic Geek supporter.
We love you.
Which is, listen,
Joe.
Sorama Giovanna. She's a great friend of mine. She happens also to be a colleague of mine, but that's secondary.
She was also one of the first patrons to join us.
She was also one of the very first patrons joining us since the very beginning. She has been always a supporter. She's very often live in the chat, and when she's not, man, when she's not, she literally tells me like, sorry, I couldn't be there in the live chat. And then she sent me a picture while she's watching the episode. Like, Giovanna has not missed a single episode of the podcast. So she has dedication.
Iconic woman. Love that.
She has dedication. Thank you so much for supporting us. So at the Epic Geek tier, you will get a copy, a 3D printed in resin of the miniatures of our characters.
It's insane, guys. I mean, you get to have me.
You get to have stars
on your bedside table, on your shelf, in the kitchen, in the toilet, wherever you want.
So go grab the other 4 spots that are available. That is going to be a very limited run. We wanted to do a very limited run just for the people that really want to support us. And also, like, there is a bunch of other rewards. Starting from I don't remember the name. So it's New Geek, Super Geek, Mega Geek, and Epic Geek. So from the Super Geek tier, there is also homebrew items that we do every month for all that tier and all the higher tiers. Then we have special content, like behind the scenes content for the Mega Geek, which is includes the short rest, the short rest bloopers, and
there's the call with the DM as well. Like, there's going to be like a monthly call with me.
Yes,
like a
if you want to ask
or...
questions with having like a direct line with the DM. So I mean, go check it out. Link is in the description of the video, and also you can find it on our Instagram page. There is a link in the bio, and if you click there, you find all our social media. You find our Patreon,
our Discord as
Discord
well.
channel.
We're saying hi to our Tavern Keeper Manuel, our latest and newest Epic Geek crew member,
and we say hi to all the people on the Discord as well.
Yeah, basically, like, I think for the first time now we can say, well, maybe since the last episode, but for the first time we can say, like, finally we are 10 crew members of the Epic Geeks.
10.
We've been 9 crew members up until I think a few weeks ago when Manuel joined, and this is why we've been saying, like, we're such a big team, because we've had to hide the players in the background.
Yes,
they've been helping us all along. They've been supportive, Tanya, Michelle, Bernard, and honestly, like, I am so happy that we have this amazing team working with us, and
we are
everyone,
so blessed.
we
are so blessed.
Oh, I love it. It's like another family now. I have 17.
Absolutely. So
we are perfectly on the mark.
Perfectly on the mark. So let's keep at it.
So
guys, thank you so much for watching. We hope that you had fun. We're looking really, really forward for the next couple of episodes as well with Michelle and with Tanya. Thank you so much, Bernard, for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Bernard's social will also be in the description of the video.
Absolutely.
If you want to go and follow him.
Absolutely. So yeah, so in the meantime, as always, we hope that you had fun. We'll see you next time, and keep being geeks.
Do that.
Be an epigeek.